Hello everyone. We can get things started. Make sure the settings are right. Yep, but on my computer I gotta change something real quick. There we go. Morning, Lucky. I am also hoping the aqueduct we can get up and running. We have a good amount of it set up right now. One thing we do need to figure out is the actual basin where it's going to end up. And then we got to add in some levees like we've been doing over here. We are running a little bit short on wood, so we'll need to be careful on that. We can start just replacing a few levees. And I just spilled coffee on my keyboard. Not what we love to see. Okay, that was fun. Since we are a little bit short on wood, I do want to probably put some attention to terraforming today. We also have just a ridiculous amount of unemployed viewers and bots. So I think we can pause one of these for now. And then we have oh my gosh, we have so many houses. We have one homeless beaver. If we pause most of these and then move those beavers over here, and then we're also probably going to move the district center up here. Morning, sand artist. Let's do some terraforming. So right now I want to keep this going over. So I want to add in some dirt blocks. I don't think they'll be able to reach everything, but if we put in maybe an overhang, if we put in, let's go like this. And then we can start, oops. We can build this up a little bit. And then we will need to remove this. I think I'll rearrange this at some point. But for now, we'll just keep it simple. We'll see what 2 looks like. Maybe we end up switching it back. And then I have no idea how much of this they're going to be able to reach. But we can start there. And then I'm going to carve all this up a little bit as well. So we're just going to keep going. Might as well place everything that we want, and then we'll change the paths as needed. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday morning so far. Up to yeah, that goes up 2 as well. Oh, we got a lot to do. And I think around here we'll maybe change it a little bit. We have a bunch. Kind of just playing around. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. And then we'll add in some stairs so they can walk down here and construct all this. We'll be driving. We'll be kind of sort of driving by both of you in the south next weekend. Going to Central Florida for vacay. Ah. Exciting. See summer in Florida. Hopefully it's not too hot and humid there. Where? Yeah, we'll just keep filling it in. So this is the level. Let's just finish this one, because we know we want it to be at that level. And then we can start going back. Maybe just go up one after that. Yeah, that might make sense. This part I don't know exactly, but we'll do that later, I guess. I feel like we're going to trap beavers if we do this. Well, they have to build it back first, so I think we'll be fine. So a bunch of terraforming. I'm at 1 speed. Let's speed it way up. 600 wood. So we are slack-a-lackin' in terms of the trees. So let's think about where we want to put some more trees. We have a good amount over here. Oh yeah, I want to blast away some of this. But let's make sure we don't have anything underground, because I know we have this spot down here. Okay, so we should be good if we start maybe 1 tile over. Yeah, 1 tile there. And then we'll go down 2 for these ones. And then we can plant some more trees. This guy can reach all the way over here. Let's just do some oak. We could even build some of this out a little bit. So we can remove all of this. And also we'll want to terraform this side as well. I don't think we need... I guess we can leave those stairs, or we'll remove the path. No, we'll remove the stairs. And then we can add the dirt blocks in. They can reach all that, and they should not trap themselves, I don't think. We'll go like that. We'll leave them to work on all of that. Oh, they couldn't reach that one. Love it. There, he should be able to, they should be able to reach it now. And then just keep planting trees in the meantime. We also have so many unemployed beavers and bots. What do we need to work on? We have no catalyst. So we could increase catalyst production. We have enough maple syrup. We're doing good on extract, so we could add another refinery. We have 2 up here. One's catalyst, one is biofuel. I mean, I don't see any reason why we don't just duplicate this one. Put it right here. Connect it in. Treated planks are fine. Could use some more paper storage. Looks like all the foods are looking good, but yeah, we're short on wood. Planks and gears could be better, but if we have a wood shortage, we can't do a whole lot about it. And we do need to extend some paths, otherwise they won't be able to make any progress over here. And then we need them to be able to make it down here. So we'll add in one staircase and a spiral. So from there we should be able to get most of this constructed, I think. Only thing I want to change is these ones because they're facing a different direction. We'll leave it like that. When they've constructed more of it, it might make a little bit more sense. 770 for the logs. So what are we doing over here? We capped both of these off. This one is still flowing. We might want these for power down the road. Not sure. This is all going over here. We could just block this off, have the bad water go here, and then just get a big power collection system on this side. We're doing great on scrap metal, so I think I'm just going to remove all these ruins. That being said, so I think we'll build on top of this. We'll put down maybe, we have a lot of dirt. I feel like the overhangs might be a little bit cleaner of a look. But that requires, I think it's logs, planks, and metal blocks. Yeah. Thankfully we're doing great on metal blocks. Are we actually maxed out? 3420. We can reduce how many bots are in there. Let's go down to 6. And then I keep forgetting, what are we going to put these bots in? We just got to plant some trees. I think that is the main priority right now. Obviously they can't reach all the trees over here. This guy, I bet he could help out if we put some stairs in. So if we put piece of dynamite right there, he'd only be able to help out so much. Same with this guy. Let's chop this one down and then unplant it. They can reach that one and that one. Not that one yet. And then we have some other areas we can plant some trees. Oh, I should have done this a little bit differently. I'm going to remove this and then put down some spiral staircases instead. Now they should be able to help. And then we have space over here as well. He can reach over here. This guy can't reach at all. We could just chop some of these trees down. Check what the irrigation looks like under here. Oh my goodness, let's see. What do you guys say? Going to go to Bucky's. Nice. Oh, it's fine that you missed last week, Lucky. You've been to pretty much every stream, but glad you're here this one. We just kind of started throwing this together in the last episode. I think it was you who mentioned it, that we should do an aqueduct. And, I mean, we burned through a lot of our wood stores starting it up. But I think that we're going to be in a good spot if I can cover this impermeable floor. And then we got to add in just a couple more pieces of these levees. The power is currently not connected in, but we put all the power shafts in. At least the ones right here. Then we'll need to go underneath or something. And then from the top, we have them placing down a few more levees. Oh, we do have a drought approaching. Let's go all the way over here. You're getting a Buc-ee's next year down the highway. Nice. The tree thing. Keep working on the underground aqueduct I've been working on by the current tree farm. The underground aqueduct by the current tree farm. I'm not 100% sure which. I don't think we have an underground aqueduct exactly. We have some irrigation zones. I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Also, I've been looking into the statistics and numbers on irrigation, and apparently if you have tunnels that are 3 wide instead of 1 wide, it actually decreases the evaporation rate, which sounds counterintuitive, but I watched a guy do a video on it. It seemed like it was pretty legit. So we're going to do a few upgrades today. So if you have a 2 wide tunnel, that's better than a 1 wide. And then if you have a 3 wide, that's better than a 2 wide. But a 4 wide is not good. And then we can also delete all of the platforms that they're placing down. Get those planks back. Yes, but we gotta put that path back in. Well, and they might not be able to reach everything. But now they should be able to. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking for the aqueduct, okay, let's just put in some overhangs, see how it goes. And then the beavers just constructed it instantly. So, and I wasn't even planning on working on that at the beginning of the episode. I wanted to get a lot of this figured out. And I think we have like the core of this setup now. We still have some well-being items we need to get placed down over here. But we have, I think, plenty of housing. We have all the main infrastructure we need. I am a little... I just want to make sure we have enough trees. Because you guys have seen these wood shortages, and they can hit pretty hard and fast. Especially if you're not careful and then you build big projects like this without planning your wood supply out. Let's also put a staircase right here, because I bet this is holding up some of the other dirt placements. But we do have this guy. He is full-time, which is what we want. And so he's filling in, if we can go down fast enough. He's filling all the water in Oh my gosh, a lot of it went down here. We can continue to remove all of these platforms. Planks are looking decent. We're at 1300. Uh-oh, I got rid of something. I saw we got treated planks back. What was that from? Oh, was that from the spiral staircase? And I bet I stranded a couple beavers down there. Yep. Whoopsies. There we go. Okay, they'll work on that. I'll try and be a little bit more careful this time. We should only see planks being removed here. We can get rid of these two. And then not this one. Or that one. And then not these either. But we could get rid of all of these. And it always removes a path, unfortunately. And then we'll just make sure that they're filling this up fast enough. There is still a pretty big cavity. Is it worth adding in a second fluid dump? I feel like it might be. We can move this guy right here and then make sure it's prioritized by haulers and set to obtain. Is this one not? This is a normal tank, so that's not really doing a whole lot. We can then remove this and this, and we can duplicate this guy. Cool. So we'll leave it like that. And then we have this one. Okay, so I don't think we really need to extend this guy much. Maybe we could go over here a little bit. We could probably fill some of this in. Honestly, I think maybe it would make sense to extend this, but we'll go in this direction. We also should just gather all the extra trees that we can. And then I'm going to pause it. We're going to do this, mark everything for demolition, and then unmark it. That way we got rid of all the little baby trees, like this guy. Like this doesn't have any resources in it. But if we filled in, man, I think we should probably unmark all these trees. So we don't want to plant any trees down here. Instead, we can fill this all in with dirt, and then we can have this little irrigation zone go one tile lower. So it's going to be one tile below this elevation. And if we had these trees here, you'd be able to see the water because we will remove that tile. And then in the meantime, we can put some dirt down. Unfortunately, we're a little bit limited on the paths that we can put in. So let's do this. We'll need to add in a staircase and then some paths. And then we can also mark all of these trees. And part of the goal of this live stream is to get the whole map green spaced. I'm moving the automation to the top of the reservoir. Yes, I'm going to actually need to basically redo a lot of the automation because we have some, and We have some of it that's not really relevant, like the flow sensor. I don't think we really need to worry about that. The wet weather station. And then some of these relays. You might keep some of them here for now. In today's episode, I don't really want to focus on automation. That's something I'm going to kick down the road just a little bit. Because right now it seems like we're doing good on power. This is still maxed out. Looks like our bad water reservoir is working as intended. So it had a bunch of bad water. But even though there's a drought, if we go down, we can see there's still some bad water flowing through these guys. Right now we have them set to 0.5 cubic meters per second, which is still plenty, and that's giving us a good amount of power. And then we also have these geothermal engines, and the windmills are working. Ooh, you know what I don't like seeing? Oh, these are not connected in. These are their own power networks right now. And it's probably because I demolished a bunch of buildings. So for now, we'll just go like that. Good thing we have plenty of power. There we go. Okay, so now we have 8,000 out of 5,700. Oh my gosh, we are going down in wood. We have 400 logs. I don't feel like I've been building a whole lot with wood. I think we're just running a little bit short, unfortunately. And then we can remove some of this and then get the last few trees placed down. And then we got to make sure it's all marked to be chopped down. Otherwise, they'll just be chilling. And then maple syrup. Are we out of maple syrup? Looks like it. We have a beaver working in there. He can't actually reach all this. So we could mark these ones. And then let's get rid of that. These guys can only reach some of this. We have so many beavers and bots were unemployed. We'll add in a few extra lumberjack flags just to get some of these straggler trees. Switch this guy to a bot, duplicate. We'll put one here and then one over here, I guess. And then we have all this green space down here. Do we keep going with this one way at the top? Looks like this is filled up. It's filling this up. I don't know if it's worth extending that because we have to go around this thing. We could just keep going. We're a little bit limited on how far we can go. We could really just go kind of to right here. But that should give us a good amount of extra irrigation. Hello DJ, seem to have two power networks. Yes, you probably said that before I caught it. Could expand the zip lines over there to lessen all the walking. Ooh, I probably need to add some of those in. I feel like I should add in some tunnels. Get some more green space. And then also we'll add in some zip lines. Because we have some that go to right here. This one goes over here. I might just need to redo the zipline network a little bit. How's this working right now? Seems like we're going in all directions. Man, so many beavers and bots zipping around. So we could add a split right here. One goes to this still, and then another just continues over here. Right here maybe? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. So what we can do is, let's do this. We can remove this tree, and then we need to move this over. So we can remove this tree, remove that, and then we'll add in a piece of dynamite. And I forgot that these trees take a while to remove. It's unfortunate we're chopping down some trees, but gotta make space for another zip line. Hello, we have a few new faces. DJ, I think I've seen you once or twice in some of the live streams. Blue Size, welcome to the stream. And I think we gotta disconnect this one. The beavers are not gonna like it. Or we can do this, and then we'll add another one in. And let's just make sure that we have the ability, oh, we'll have to go to this one. And then that can go over here. This guy, so he'll be able to go over here, and then he could connect into another one if needed. So that will be helpful. Okay, so now we have a lot more green space. Let's see how far we can get a zip line over here that still reaches. Ooh, we might not be able to. Let's put one right. Okay, they can reach this one. So that'll go here. And unfortunately, we're not planting any trees in this area. But if we put this right here, and then we can remove all of these paths. Nope, don't want to get rid of that beaver. And then we can plant some of the rest of these. And let's go underground real quick, extend that irrigation path we've been working on. And then we'll recycle all of these. And now we can focus on getting another zipline station. So where do you want to have that? This one could go right here. Would it make sense to kind of split off into two? This guy maybe it would make sense. I think we should have a main highway going down the middle. And then we'll add other zip lines if needed. So we'll put one right here. Connect him in. And that's hopefully going to help the travel distance a little bit. And then we have a bunch of... Okay, hold up. Pause this. We're actually going to remove it. Because I probably want to put some dirt blocks down. I think. We can actually do this. Because not all the irrigation's getting across. And then we do have the underground irrigation zones going to like right here, I think. Yeah, there's just a couple explosions. So it goes right to the edge. And you can see that green space is spreading. At the very least, we can fill this area in. If we place a few paths, then they can reach all this. So we'll do this. Maybe we'll go all the way right here. So now we have some green space right here. I might want to carve this out. We're going to fill this in, but we could have this upper tier kind of wrap around right here. So we can do that. We'll add in a bunch of dynamite. We might want to move this guy. Okay, I'll remove a few of these. Let's do that. And now I think we'll probably need to extend that over here. And then delete him. Make sure they collect all this wood. Could remove paths in tree farms to grow more trees. Yeah, I guess we don't need... Well, they're using some of these. This guy, where's he bringing it? Is he walking all the way over there? Wow. My zipline system is not efficient if he has to walk from here to here. It's not great. I have this zipline right here. Okay, what is he doing? Oh my gosh, he's placing a dirt block. Pause. Detonate. He got almost all the trees. I missed one. And then we can go underground. This is going to be interesting. So I want to extend this one and then have it go over here, because that'll irrigate all this stuff. Oh, look at that. So you can see this whole thing, but you can't see the zip line. Anyways, get distracted. He's done. Remove that. 285 logs. Okay, we're gonna remove this path and the staircase, And then add in some dirt blocks. How much do we want to build this up? Something like that maybe. We can fill this in. Okay, they can reach all this. I think I just need to start placing down some trees. Maybe we'll do some birch trees because we're so low. We don't want to wait forever. 7 days. 12 days. It's like a little bit more efficient to do the pine trees, but at this point, I just need to place something. We'll have him go right here. This will be... We don't even have bots unlocked for the forester yet. And then we'll have this guy right here. And then we'll just keep placing some going in this direction. And then let's remove all these extra paths. We don't need all that right now. But we do want to have some lumberjack flags. And then we'll just keep placing down some birch trees. Nice thing about birch trees is that we can remove them pretty easily by just like unmarking them to be planted. He can reach most of this, but we'll get a second one. We're just getting some trees. Excellent. And then looks like some of these are, oh my gosh, some are barely grown up, and then looks like a good amount are about 50% done. So how is all this going? Looks like they terraformed a good amount of this. We need to place down a couple pieces of dynamite. Not explosives factories. We'll do those 3. Oh, they won't be able to reach this. We can fix that. And then maybe we'll just get rid of some of these little last few pieces. And then over here, going around the corner. Oh, I still want to flatten this out as well. We'll go double for all of this. And single. No, we'll go double over here. We'll go single here. There we go. Place that one, and then we'll need to put in some paths because I don't think they can reach a good amount of this. For some reason it seems like it's not detonating when I'm clicking it. They should be able to reach all of this, assuming we get a path in. So we can leave it like that for now. Oh, we don't even need this staircase. Just kidding. 165 wood. How are we doing on pine resin? 916. I want to chop some of these down, honestly. Doing good on treated planks. Then again, we also have all these we're already chopping down. Doing good on regular planks. Paper's looking good. We just put a lot of logs into here. And then let's actually cover this up just to keep the aesthetics uniform. Do the same for these ones. And we do need to... What the heck? Look at that. I placed some underneath here. But we do need to remove these stairs. So that way we can place down those last pieces of... Well, those last few levees. I think I just did the same thing. Whoa, look at that. It's floating. Get rid of this guy. It's kind of funny. So let's just go stairs, stairs, stairs. Oh, and then we'll need to do the same for these paths. All the little tedious things. I look like Jay Sean when he looks at water levels. Jay Sean. Okay, so this is starting to look a little bit better. We just need to get this corner wrapped up. Let's see. I don't really know the best way to do this. I'm going to transition because right now it's goes up 2, up 2, up 2, and then 1, 1, and then a half of that slope, so 2 over 1 up, 2 over 1 up. So we can keep that going. This side is a little bit different. We're just starting out 2 to 1. Maybe we need to change that so we go 1 to 1. How far over am I going to go? We have some space over here we could use. I think I'm just going to end this pattern underneath the aqueduct, and then if I want to do something over here, we can do that down the road. We'll go 1 to 1 until this level, so we'll need to build out quite a bit. And then we'll go over here. Now I'm a little concerned about trapping beavers. This is fine. They are going to be able to go over here. And they'll work on these ones. If we go like this, I think we should be okay. So let's do this. They're not going to like that. A little tricky. Okay, they got this one just about done. And then they're going to work on these ones from the bottom. Oh, well. That one's done. Can't reach it. Okay. We have a few more trees. Just a few. And then we just gotta mark everything. Did I miss one? How did I miss one tree? Oh, this guy can actually go even farther. All the trees. I don't know how I keep missing ones. Okay, these guys are chilling. He's chilling. Oh, we don't have a place for them to put any of this wood. I guess we'll go like this. This will be supply. We'll just get, I don't know, 4 of them placed down for now. Can we reach this? Ah, it's obstructed. Oh, because it's 1 level lower. Yeah, so this tree is probably just like right here. Dang, so if I raise this up 1, then I bet we'd be fine. We could raise it up and rotate it. That would keep it above all the trees. Let's do it. Connect it back in. And now, oh, too many connect, oh wait, here, too far. Drats. Maybe this is all unnecessary. For now, we'll just add this in. Just like connecting stuff. So we'll leave it like that. And then we got a couple more foresters. Got some trees. And then this green space for the irrigation zone. Let's see. That goes all the way over here. Let's wait to put the path down. Now we can do that. And so that green space is going to continue over here. We can build this up. We could build this up as well. We're doing great on dirt. And then we're just going to actually do this. We have a lot of unemployed beavers and bots. We have some green space over here. Oh my gosh, we're down to 60 something wood. Yikes. So now's not the best time, I guess, to build some builders' huts. How's our wood going down so much? Are we... I mean, we're still going up in planks. Maybe that's part of it. We've already paused all those ones. We have 6 lumber mills running. We have bots in all of them. Gears are going up a little bit. But I don't think we have... I mean, you think that 6 wouldn't be too much, but maybe we'll pause 1. And then we'll pause a gear workshop as well. We have 4 paper mills. We're pretty much maxed out. We have no storage for punch cards, and then books. We have minimal storage. So those are running probably more than they need to. See, this is why we need to set up automation, even though I don't want to. We could put some automation on top of here. Maybe do it on this side. Using all the logs to get more logs. You have just a little bit. See, I thought that I was doing good with all the trees that I've planted, but apparently this is not enough still. No matter what I do, always a wood shortage incoming. So the green space, it spreads a decent amount, but if we add in another level, I think we'll probably reduce that irrigation spread. I guess it's only one level below this, so it shouldn't be reduced too much. What I want to do with the water that comes over here, we're going to build some sort of reservoir on top of this. I think I should work on that, and I think we should use dirt. Let's remove... Oh, I should have done that first. Let's get some of this back. So we could have that water go over here. And we have a couple options. We could have the water go around here and then maybe come back. And I think we'll keep dumping the bad water over here. This might just be like a bad water area. That's not a bad idea. How far can we reach? We have a path that goes to here. If we turn these on, it goes over here. So let's do this because we know we want to block this. And then I think we should blast this out. And they won't be able to reach it unless we add some stairs. And then let's start getting... I think we probably should remove all of this now. 1, 2, and 3. And then let's make sure we prioritize collecting all of this. And then also remove those 3. And then I think we'll just place down some dirt here since we are desperately low on ooh, we'll go one more. Yeah, we'll go like that. We're just so low on wood right now. We can't really afford to place levees down. And then I think we want to keep... I like the more uniform look on the sides of the mountains. They're probably not going to be able to reach a good amount of this, but we'll make sure they can down the road. And then we'll go up. Whoops, a little bit extra. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fine. And then I guess we'll fill this in. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I hope we don't have any bot dummies. I guess they're going to work on this side first, so I don't think they should be able to trap themselves because they'll build all this stuff first. But I'm going to keep a close eye on them. because my trust in them to not trap themselves is... Hold up. I don't like that. Unpause it. As long as you don't have anyone going in there. You guys are all going in there. Okay, good. Whew. Okay, they should be able to reach all this, and, well, not all of it, but some of it. Won't be able to get the lower parts. But I think they should be able to get a good chunk of what's up here. And they'll add in a little bit more. And then we do have this. Okay, good. We're still doing great on dirt, 1500. We are still desperately low on wood, but we're doing all that we can. So we can build this up a little bit more. Let's also just keep going up, actually. And then for this one, we want to go backwards. And then we'll place down some dirt blocks right here. Gotta remove a few more. And then I don't think we actually need to be in this part of the reservoir anymore, so we can remove all the paths. We just need to close off, I think, these last couple pieces. But all this stuff I don't think we need. We'll just make sure they can reach all this first. So they're constructing that from the top. And then we'll get the last two levees. They can reach both of them. I'm hoping they can reach both of those from below. We will see. Worst case scenario, I place down a staircase and they have to get those last two. Already on triple speed, so we'll just leave it. I think it's worth getting a hauling post. We have a lot of green space also. Yeah, this guy can plant a bunch of trees. I should probably... Oh, yeah, this is the area I want to irrigate. I guess for now we'll just throw some birch trees down. Just to get something. Well, he has quite the reach. And then we'll just make sure it's all marked for chopping. Ooh, and we do have some trees that are growing up. They're birch trees, but better than nothing. And then I do want to get, I think, a hauling post. We should probably even just get two. I guess like this. one of them will be bots, the lowest priority, and then all the way to 10. And then we'll do 10 beavers. So there we go. We have fewer unemployed bots and beavers. 280. We're going up ever so slightly. Can pause more wood industry for the short term to increase wood reserves. We are still going up in planks. Gears are still going up. We can pause a second. One of each. We have this mountain right here. At some point we could do something with it. We could flatten it. Is there any reason why we'd want to not flatten it? We already have a bunch of other mountains. I say we just lower it, level it, get some more space available for tree plantings. Plus we're doing great on explosives. So we can start, make sure we can actually reach over here. Only problem is, okay, we'll just need to just do it like this. Because I want them to be able to walk out to the side as well. And if we place a staircase, it blocks all this from them being able to reach it. And then we gotta pick an elevation that we want to go to. I say we just go to the bottom of this Fountain of Joy. So that means that we'd place single right here and all along this. It's going to be a pain in the butt to detonate some of it. And then we're going to start working our way up. The way that I like to do it, for me it feels like it's a little bit easier. So I just think about it in terms of what's my base layer I'm going for, and then we go up from there. So like this entire level will be double dynamite, this one will be triple, and then we go back to single. Because what we can do is place all the single here, and when we detonate it, we can then fill in the level below it with triple, and then this will all be one big layer that we can detonate at once. So we have single, double, triple, and then we cycle all the way back to 1. And that way we don't have to detonate quite as many. Like, one of the worst things is just going through all these individual singles and detonating those. Not my favorite. And then we got triple. And then single, triple, double. And then we'll need to add some paths in. And there's some of this they're not going to be able to reach, unfortunately. But we can kind of deal with some of the stragglers later. See, like here? Oh, that was close. I almost detonated that. Once they finish all these, excellent, they can reach all this. Like that. Move these stairs. And then now we can just add in triple. And they can reach all of this. And then we'll just work our way down from here. A 1,000 wood? What the heck? We had like 200 a minute ago. And now we're at 1,000. I guess they chopped all the birch trees down. Maybe we just had another wave of trees growing up. We could also fill this in. And maybe we could remove the levees, and that green space will spread a bit. We will need to fill this in, I guess. Now that we have some more wood, we can continue to work on the aqueduct, which was the whole point of this episode. And then over here, oh man, I was gonna have dirt. I don't love the look of it though. I think I'd rather have something like this. Now that we have some more wood, it might be worth it. So I think I might actually just detonate some dynamite on here, even though I just placed the dirt down. I'm not going to be able to reach any of this, but we can change that. Some boom boom. There is a lot of boom boom. Looks like they placed it all down. And then we are very close to reaching this. Now you do have to be careful with detonating the single, because that will take this path out. This one will be okay. This is double, so we'll go with single. And they should be able to construct that one. There we go. Okay, I think at this point we can get rid of all of this. We can remove the single staircase. And then... okay, now we can detonate it. And then now we just gotta extend the path all the way across this whole flippin' thing. And then we gotta get these few up top. But in the meantime, we can just start placing all this triple dynamite. We do need to actually remove just a couple so we can actually reach right here. I think just a single staircase would be good. Don't need that one. There we go. Donate some of these ones on the side. Some of these don't really matter. See, this is what I don't like doing, is all these individual ones. And I do not want to do it that way. So we're just going to extend the path so I can click it once and should be good. That one they can reach. Let's just make sure they get that one done sooner. Same with this one. Also, we definitely need to get these ones prioritized. Running a little bit low on extract. All of these require 2. So let's make sure we are doing great on bad water. This guy, he's getting... Do we have bad water nearby? That's extract. Ooh, I think I set one of these. I wanted to set to bad water. Yeah, this guy probably has to walk a ways. Productivity is 61%. Okay, maybe we don't prioritize it by haulers. Now that we have bad water right here, they can just hop down and grab it. And since this is prioritized by haulers, we should be good. We may end up getting another one of these constructed. We're down to 200. Oh, we gotta get this finished. 1.6 thousand logs. How are we doing over here? Oh, we gotta extend that path. I probably could have left that there. Yeah, I could have left that there. So now we'll go like this. And then we'll go all along the side. And we still might use dirt for the bottom of this. Although if we have this with bad water, then that'll contaminate it. Like there'd be some contamination that spreads like it is right here. We have a drought approaching. At this point I don't even pay attention to the seasons a whole lot. Only thing would be if we are running low on power, really. But this bad water reservoir is filled up. Power's looking good. 14,000 HP in total. Man, they built this fast. We can detonate all of this, I believe. Looks like they placed all the dynamite down. Uh-oh. Clearly, that wasn't good. Okay, so we had a little bit of a miscalculation on my part. Oh, geez. Okay, well, let's do it like this. A little bit of flooding. Well, you know, it happens. Okay, we have this pause. They'll work on getting all this built. Uh-oh. They can reach that one. Okay, good. Just want to make sure they didn't do anything crazy. Trap themselves. Okay, we'll toss a bot in there. He'll get everything back up and running. And then they can almost reach all this. Yeah, that was a whoopsie. That was a whoopsie. And then we'll just place a few last pieces. Well, let's actually hold up. That should be double. This one will be single, but the rest of these will be double. And then for these ones, we can go with singles. And I don't know how much of this they're going to be able to reach. Looks like it should be all of it now. Excellent. Look at that. So this kind of changes the feel of this a little bit. Before it was just like this big thing next to it. Now we have a lot more space. I might even go down one more tile. There is some flooding. Oh, that's from the water up here. Yeah, well, I might go down another tile. Because we have all the trees right here. We'll have a little bit of a two level or two wide platform thingamadoo. And then I don't know if they're gonna reach. Okay, we have the path. And then thankfully this does not require extract. This is just explosives, and we still have 700 of those. And then we are getting rid of all the trees. 1.6 thousand logs. At this point we can unmark all the birch trees, and we'll replace all of these ones with oak, since we're doing good on trees now. We're doing good on logs, I should say. And what did we learn, Lucky? We learned that if we make mistakes, we can fix them fast. Not that you should check your work. We are getting rid of these last couple pieces. For bots who are unemployed. We got a few beavers sitting around. We'll fill these in with oak. Give him something to do at least. Who is Look Up? Welcome to the stream. This can reach all the way over here. Oh yeah, so this one, this goes, I think this is just right here. Takes forever to go down now. Let's see. We could build this out even more. Thank you for the donation, Sand Artist. We have a few more channel members now, thanks to Sand Artist. So we could just remove this, but I think what we should do is go down, and I think that means I should build this up a little bit. Since we're doing great on dirt, we can just start it out like this. We could probably build this entire level up as well. We can get rid of these logs, or the trees, I guess. We have space to fit a path right over here. And then we'll get a single lumberjack flag. He should be able to finish everything off. And I think we are good. No, we're not. We gotta get these ones. We also don't need any of these platforms. We're still doing great on planks. Remove all of those and all of these. Some of these we gotta move. I don't want them to actually construct all this. But we can use the levees to push them into a spot they can collect them. Okay, I think we're looking good now. We're going to slow it down to 2 times speed. And then we'll go from the 2 corners. Detonate, detonate. You can't hear anything yet. It's not until it gets closer. Perfect. Only one bot who is unemployed. We have 158. We are going to... We could turn this one back on, but I think we can hold off on that because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bot builders huts, and that's not even all of them. Oh my gosh, we have 2 more hauling posts that are both bots. Yeah, we don't need to worry about ramping up bot production yet. So they can get down here, which means we'll do this. Nope, that's not what I wanted. As long as they build those 2 first. Now we're good. And they're doing a good job here. This we can go down. Maybe more pine and maple. Need more resin and syrup. Pine resin. Where is that? 454. This guy can reach just barely over here. So I think we should remove him. Unmark these ones for planting, and then mark them to be chopped down. And then we'll shift that guy over here, unmark some of these. That way we don't need to plant anymore. How do we have birch trees? Okay, so Tapper Shack. Yeah, that's a huge range. This can be a bot. And then we'll just do this. We can go one more. Except for this guy. We want to chop you down. But now we'll have access to more of that. Maple syrup we're at 0. Even though we have quite a few maple trees. This guy is probably not in the best spot, honestly. Let's move him over here. Switch it to a bot. Remove this guy. Because yeah, we still have plenty of maple syrup to harvest. But, oh, and now we can actually undo this. So now we have some more. And then we got to keep placing down some oak trees. And I'm guessing that these are all getting pretty close. Yeah, halfway done. 66, 70. So these will be growing up pretty soon. This is too far. He got all these. We're actually just going to fill this whole thing in. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. And then we can do this. It's going to be a little messy. Let's actually shift the path over here. We're going to do this. This bot is not going to like it. We might rearrange this. Oh, they can't reach this. Oh, yes, they can. We're just gonna like redo this whole area. Here to you guys. I should probably just remove the path first. That way the beavers and bots aren't walking over it. This guy we're going to switch to full time. And we will put a bot in here. For this we can go on the top. And then we'll have a tunnel. Ooh, the irrigation is spreading over here really well. I guess I have this. That's going to reduce it. I think we'll just go underground over this direction a little bit. And then I might just have this go straight out here. Fill this in. A lot more green space. Also, 2.3 thousand wood. So we're clearly bouncing back on logs, which is good news. I do need to actually work on this reservoir. So do we have all this filled in? Looks like it. That's what you love to see. And then how do I want to have this go? We can remove this one. They can grab that. We'll put a dirt block in. far as the big aqueduct, we could send some water down the river through the tree forest, now starting up here for irrigation. Yeah, I don't really want to rely on this guy to irrigate, at least not, I just imagine during a drought or a bad tide, you know, that we'd lose that irrigation. We could do something kind of similar to here. So we'd have, you know, just some water that stays. So that could be an option. We wouldn't need to worry about this guy irrigating everything over here. He just need to do some. So maybe we do end up doing that. Also, we have a 4x3, it looks like. So we can probably fill these two in. Yeah, so we'll fill this in. And then we'll do a spiral staircase right here. Add the path in. And then we can start going down. Or here and here. Because we don't want to go on this level. Whoops, remove this one. So in case you missed the beginning of this live stream, uh-oh, that is perfectly next to where we can go. But I was looking into irrigation. I don't know if physics is the right word, but the rules of irrigation, and apparently if you have a tunnel that is 1 wide, the water will actually evaporate faster out of there than if you have a tunnel that's 3 wide. Which sounds counterintuitive because there's more surface area with that 3 wide, but that is just the way the game goes. So I'm upgrading as many of the tunnels as I can that have water in them for irrigation to be 3 wide instead of just 1. So like over here, this is all triple wide. And we can also collect some planks. And then we'll let them do this. We can also go in this direction just a little bit. We don't need to go that far. I think if we go 4, that'll probably put us in, give us enough irrigation over here. And look at that. So now we have a lot of space for planting some oak trees. These will be a long-term investment. We know it's going to take forever for them to grow up. But since we're doing much better on wood at the moment, almost 3,000, we can afford to do that. And at this point, I just want to... Okay, we have 2 that are so close to growing up. This one is at 93. I'm just going to remove it. And then start filling in the rest of this. They can chop that one down. And then he left at 94%. And then once I get all this done, we'll just go in this direction. But we bounced back on wood, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I hope they don't do anything dumb and trap themselves. Okay, I think we should be good now. They're getting the last few pieces. Hopefully in the morning they'll have it or by morning they should have it all done. Let's just remove this guy. In fact, we can actually change it now. We don't need it to be like that. We can go like this. And then soon we can irrigate over here. But I think we're doing fine on trees. And the drought is over. So now we can go... Okay, I'm just going to connect this path in real quick. Put some more lumberjacks back down. We have some beavers who need jobs, so we'll leave these as beavers. And then I'll probably need to rearrange some of these paths. I don't love that there's not irrigation over here. Okay, let's just get this sorted out. So this guy, we could do this. Path over here. And then tunnel underneath this. And then that might have enough irrigation to spread. We will see. We could go like this. Maybe that'll spread over here. Not sure. Looks like it's working. Okay, unfortunately it looks like that was not quite enough. Oh, maybe it will be once we have some more water in here. This guy probably needs a bucket of water next to him. Okay, we will get back to the aqueduct very shortly. I think we'll just place a path over here in case we need access. And then this guy can reach everything. You are going to be a bot. It's bot time. Also, we should probably get something and set this to not bad water, to biofuel. And let's just make sure we have the path going far enough. And we are pretty much maxed out on planks. So we can pause another couple of these. That's the wrong one. Okay, I think in the next live stream we're going to do all the automation stuff. But for now, let's focus on this reservoir. Yeah, the wood was scary. We were running pretty darn low. But now, let's think about the big picture plan, what we want to do here. And I'm going to leave it on triple speed because I want it to be morning when it's all nice and bright out. But we're going to have some water over here. I'm not going to cap this off. We could put a bad water rig. I'm just wondering if we might need some power down the road. We can always use some more, like we could take advantage of the power in this system. We could always add some water reels over here. So we have some choices for power. Maybe we don't need to worry about this for power. if we do want to, it would be kind of cool to have like a little stepped water wheel section over here. So this, we might end up keeping this. I don't think we want the bad water going over this direction though. So at the very least we could block this off. And then that reservoir that we're going to have over here doesn't need to be that big. I think if we have it just on top of here, that should be good enough. And then we can do some other stuff over here. Maybe have a second district. So we can probably get away with doing some dirt. I do like that we have this little overhang. So we can actually keep going, filling in some of this. Let's go like this. And we could even go out more. Okay, I think they should be able to physically construct this. It gets a little tricky when you're placing dirt blocks, because sometimes you place it and it works, but the order of constructability makes it impossible based on how you placed it. And I've run into that a few times, as you guys have probably seen. Let's see, Sandra, she said I could redirect to the back of the map in order to green the front part of the map. Redirect to the back of the map in order to green the front part. Let's see, so we have the water. We have all this stuff we need to irrigate. That's going to be interesting getting back here for greening it. Yeah, we have water here. Yeah, how do I want to do this? I think from here we could... Okay. Using the river to green stuff is... We're letting gravity do a lot of the work. And we just need to get the infrastructure set up versus what we have here. Having these fluid dumps requires haulers and workers and beavers traveling. So using water and gravity, definitely a good idea. So right back here is bad water. Right back here is bad water. We want to block this off. We might have this split into two. One could go down here, irrigate this like Sand Artist was saying. And then maybe we have a second one. So we can have the bad water flow here, and we can push the bad water onto this side, and then the water could do something similar and then go in this direction. We'd have to build it up a bit. Might not be able to go all the way across. But maybe we could. You're filling all this in. So let's go over top. And then we can fill some of this in as well. And then we can actually reach over here, at which point we can then start damming this up. Oh, this is going to be impossible to build. See, this is one of those things where if I just left this, they literally could not construct it because this, they wouldn't be able to reach. Well, maybe they could. It would just be super inefficient. So we're going to get rid of all this. And then I need to flip it to be the opposite direction. And then we got some trees we'll need to deal with. I think for now we should cap this off. And since we might end up opening these, going with the bad water rig just to get a bucket of bad water, not a bad idea. I think that if it's flooded, ooh, actually, you guys help me on this one. So if I place this down, but the building's flooded and we can't like work in it, will it still cap the bad water and prevent any bad water from flowing out of here? Because this, if it's flooded, it doesn't matter because it's just closed. But this, I would imagine that it would prevent bad water from flowing, but I'm not 100% sure. What do you guys say? Could run pre-run power underground through all the dirt blocks at the bad water. I got power coming over on top of here. And then, yeah, we could like drop this in the reservoir. Well, then getting out would be not great. We can just go over the top and then drop it down to connect into the water reels. I think that'd be a pretty easy solution. And then Lucky, you said aqua farm on top of the mountain to feed by aqueduct during good seasons. Ooh, we could use that. That's not a bad idea. And you know what would be pretty cool? I was thinking about doing some sort of like overhang with dirt blocks on the side of this. And we could use something like we have over here. So if we go down, we have some underground lidos. But if you look at it a little bit closely, you can see the water elevations are not the same because we have this fill valve that's set to 0.8. So that's preventing any of this extra water from flooding this cavern. So we could do something kind of like that. And so we'd have this big reservoir, you know, the water would be going up, you know, 4 or 5 tiles. And then we could have just like kind of a cliff overhang with some of the aquatic farms. And we use a fill valve to make sure there's always some water going out into here. And I think that'd look kind of cool. We could have some big columns that support it. I'm liking that idea a bit. Because yeah, we have not incorporated the aquatic farmhouse into our build yet. Also, we need to place down a staircase. Then they should be able to construct some of this. Hopefully all of it. They're also working over here. And then who is look up from the reservoir. Yes, it will stay capped. You get the flooded icon. Good. That's, if it'll stay capped, then that is what I like to hear. And you said you love my build style. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, normally, or at least in the past when I've built stuff, I kind of just go with whatever terrain is already out here, which it doesn't look that clean. So now I'm trying a little bit more to shape stuff. So like for the mega builds that I did a few years ago, those ones, I mean, it's just a lot of time because you have to terraform so much. But now even just for like my Let's Plays, I'm trying a little bit more to be intentional about, even if it's not as quick or easy to construct something, just to make sure that it's looking the way I want it. I'm going to put all those up here. And then we want to put something on top of these. Nice, that goes on top. I think we can fill part of this in because we don't really need just a huge cavity of bad water. And then also it'll make it easier to get to all this, which I'm going to remove this just to make it more simple. That way we're not having beavers trap themselves. That should be fine. And then we can do, could we, I'm not going to do this, but could we, no, we can't do dirt blocks on top. We would need to go up one more level. Hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of hard to see. There we go, like that. But we're not doing it. We're going to stick with overhangs. We are doing fine on dirt. I think we should just make sure these guys, they're prioritized. We have a dirt pile nearby. We have these two. We can have another storage pile. That's set to dirt and supply. And then we don't really need those like super big overhangs for here. A 4x1 and a 5x1 will actually be good enough. So let's go 5x1, 4x1, and then I think we'll just do something like this. Yeah, we'll leave it like that, and then we'll get levees placed down around the whole thing down the road. But first, we'll get a single staircase, and then we'll make sure that they cover this whole thing with impermeable flooring. And then I don't know where the reservoir is going to end. I might have built it a little bit too far. Look at that. It's flooded, but that's okay. Not connected to paths. It's okay. We can always open those up if we want to have some bad water flowing through here. We might want to just divert it directly, because we don't really need to have bad water filling this area up. So let's go like this. Oh, they're not going to be able to reach this one. And then they can go over here. So we'll leave it like that. Actually, we'll just keep going. I'm not making this easy on myself by making this all tiered, because then they can't reach a lot of it. But I think they should be able to reach all this. Okay, so we got that. They built a good amount of the overhangs. Let's bump that up. Pine resin is going down. Let's just make sure he's prioritizing pine resin. I don't think that really changes much. Some of these are starting to produce pine resin. We'll have him prioritized by haulers. If needed, we could add a second one of these and then unmark some more of these. In fact, let's just preemptively unmark these ones, because we may end up needing to do that. We are pretty much maxed out on treated planks, so we might actually not be short on pine resin soon, since the production rate will slow down for the treated planks. Maple syrup, we're still running really low, even though we switched this guy to be a bot. So we might need to change this. So we can switch these. We'll have them grow up. And then we'll start planting some maple trees right back here. And then I know they won't be able to plant some of this at the moment because of the irrigation zones. But I think in the next live stream we can extend the irrigation path underground. In fact, we could just start that right now. So we'll have this guy. Normally I go from underneath here, but I don't think we can squeeze it in, unfortunately. Do the barriers work under the overhangs? Barriers work under the overhangs. If we did contamination barriers, I assume. You can place them under the overhangs, yes. And then with a contamination not spread. Yes, as long as it's not going on top of here. This would work. And then I want to shift that path over. So I was going to place some levees right here, which I might still do, but if we go down, Okay, so we can fit one more right there. And yeah, we'll get those contamination barriers. That was a good catch. And then I guess we'll just get another couple of these. We'll get a triple and a double. Let's get that bumped up. And then let's add in some of these guys. Did I place that? There we go. Okay. Okay, last couple. Excellent. And then they're finishing this up. Unfortunately, we did not get as much of the reservoir and aqueduct done as I would like. You know, we could do, we're going to do this. It's day 12. I'm going to pause it real quick. I see you walking up there, you're not going to get to. We are even going to remove this. We're going up. And then we're going to place down a fill valve. Would I want a fill valve or a throttle valve? I could. I could do this instead. I'm not 100% sure what makes the most sense, so we're just going to do one of each. I don't think this will really make a big difference. And then we're going to go triple. Bump it to the top. And then we're going to do this. I don't want them to trap themselves, so we'll make sure we have some priority set. We will go eventually there, but for now we'll have it like this and this. They should be able to construct that. How the heck did you even get over here? Is that the same beaver who I yeah, I might have done that from earlier. Okay, well, let's do this real quick. I think if we install these, because they can't reach this middle one currently, but they can reach this and this and this. Okay, just get this one done. I think we can get him out of here. And oh no. One away. Uh-oh. How can they reach this? Okay. We're going to plan B. That should work. Okay, so I guess we didn't need all of this. That's okay. But now, what I want to do is test this. And let's make sure there's no flooding. That's why I only removed one. But I think we have impermeable flooring everywhere. Oh, we gotta close these. Flow limit 0. Target height 0. Aha. Barely caught it. But I'm not seeing any flooding under here. I'm doing this before the drought starts. That way we can have some water. You know, fill the reservoir back up. It's not a whole lot of water coming into here, but it's some. And there's going to be probably some sloshing, maybe some overtopping. There's just like a wave of water coming, and then it's going to hit and then bounce back. You can see that wave traveling backwards. Excellent. Well, that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. We have 12 bots or 12 bot jobs that are vacant. Let's switch that. And then probably also turn this back on, go down to 1. But we did quite a bit today. We didn't get as much progress done over here, but now we're in a great spot for the next episode to work on it because we have 2,500 wood, and then we have been planting a bucket of trees, so we're going to have plenty of trees down the road. We can fill in a few more since they finished chopping down all the birch trees. And is there anything else we worked on? We lowered this, so we'll have some more green space, but I'm feeling pretty good because we have a lot of tree planting potential, and we already planted some more trees, so now we can go full send on this. In the next episode, we can think about utilizing this water for more than just green space. We can also use it for getting the aquatic farmhouse and setting that up over here. We can get a second district over here. We'll see how much of this we can actually work on in the next episode. So, but be sure to stay tuned. I think next weekend will be another Saturday live stream. And if you guys enjoyed the live stream, be sure to hit like. And then at this point, I'm releasing 3 videos per week. The spillage series is a little bit different. I'm playing around with the style for the video, so they're a little bit similar to the live streams, but it allows me to produce more content, and I really want to get through that series. I'm enjoying it a lot, but it's an experimental branch, so I have to switch between the different Timberborn game versions every time I record, so I want to get that one wrapped up. I think there's still several episodes left though. So, and then once that one's done, I don't know what I'm going to do for the next series, but I did just start the largest project ever that I've ever done in Timberborn in the 1.0 series. So that one is going to be going on for quite a while. I'm pretty excited for that one. I'm going to probably record either today or tomorrow for that next episode. And I'm hoping we can start breaking ground. Because if you think there's a wood shortage in this series, there's going to be probably just a massive amount of wood shortages in that one. So I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that if possible. But I appreciate everyone who showed up today. We had some familiar faces, Sand Artist Lucky, and then a few new faces as well who was look up. And then we had a few new members. And I'm looking through who else we have. Blue Size. Good to see you. Yeah. I think that's all the folks who were chatting today. So it's always fun getting to talk with you guys. And I think that is where we're going to wrap up the video or the live stream. So I will see you guys either next video or next weekend.